The Magneton is crazy. I'm telling you that like there are so many good cards in this set, or just even what I'm kind of going over tonight. It's crazy. I love this Magneton too because you see like the legendary birds are there. And that's what's kind of cool about using this magnifier is you can kind of see a lot of the detail you normally wouldn't see. I love like Aquapolis, Expedition, Skyridge, like everyone does. But of course, you know, back in middle school or when they come out, I have the card literally in front of me. I can just look. 2003. So that'd have been like elementary, middle school for me. And it's like, middle school, like Pokemon's dumb now, you know. It's like, man, I wish I didn't think it was dumb. Like, I could never imagine, like, using or having one of these cards and actually ripping it through an e-reader. Like, that's insane. We update each other as we go. And that's on the card. Because I don't feel anything. It almost looks like a print dot. Because I don't feel anything on the tip there. That's interesting. So yeah, no, I definitely appreciate it. You know, and I'm honestly, I'm here for the people. So if you guys have any questions or anything like that, or if you value my opinion at all or whatever, I'm more than happy to kind of shed some light or share my thoughts or my experiences. You know, the pros, the cons, like how to set up for a show. I've learned a lot of lessons from trying to set up as a vendor, which I have. These cards are actually going hopefully to a show here soon. But what's your opinion on the policy change at PSA? Honestly, I'm surprised it hasn't happened sooner. And it's really just going to boil down to, you know, the big question, which I think is very valid, is how is PSA going to actually like determine or check if this stuff is going through like card wax or cleanings or anything like that. And in my personal opinion is, you know, there's kind of like almost two categories of like what people call like consider cleaning. I'd say that the first category, which I kind of focus on, is addressing things that are added onto the card. So things like dirt or thumbprints or smudges or anything like that that's kind of added onto the card, I think, in my opinion, is fair game, right? So if I put a big thumbprint on this Magneton, right, I'm not gonna just leave the thumbprint on there, right? I'm gonna wipe it off, and I think any sane person would do the same thing. So why on earth would PSA say, nope, there's a thumbprint on there, I saw you try to remove it, alteration? No one's gonna say that, you know. But the second part, which is kind of like, that's why I personally don't kind of go towards that part, is fill-ins, or what I consider restorations, which is, you know, things that have actually been removed from the card that you're trying to add back into it. So things like scratches, things like whitened corners that do not have anything like flapped over, major creases or bends, I think all are kind of in the realm of restoration. Right, because nothing has been actually added to the card. Instead, it's things that have been removed from the card, meaning the integrity of the card, right? Like I would also consider, you know, you can kind of see that there's like a very slight bend here. So for example, I would just put this in a book, and there's not like I'm not altering the card. You know, that's humidity and whatever is going to just be able to help me just put it in its natural position. Whereas if there's a dent, right, there's a difference there, right? Because someone removed the integrity from the card that you're trying to restore back to its original integrity, if that makes sense. So humidifiers, I'm so in certain cases, and that's what I kind of reserve for the advanced technique. Even though anyone can do it, that's why I said, you know, you can use the book method, which is totally fine. But sometimes there are instances where a humidor does well, where you can kind of have that humidity kind of go into the card and help kind of flatten it out, get the memory back to what it once was to use. I have plates behind my little monitor there, but essentially that's all you're really doing. It's just kind of putting in between two plates and just pressing it back to its original form. So there you go. Thank you for attending my yap session. Hopefully I didn't put anyone to sleep. But again, that is pretty much the gist of it. Do I consider base set Team Rocket cards with minor silvering? Had a discussion on this the other day. So yeah, so if you're talking about like silvering from like a printing the print silvering is what I kind of refer it to as. It really kind of depends, right? If it's very mild, I have had cards that have had that mild silvering, like from base set Jungle Fossil, come back as 7s. So it really just depends on the severity of the silvering. I know I'm trying not to give like cop out answers, but it really does depend. I would say in certain cases, it would still be considered near mint if you're to submit it through PSA. But in other cases, it is so bad that you can't really argue that it's nothing less than, light play or whatever. Does PSA use these types of tools? I would say so, yes. Like magnifiers and gloves and lights and everything like that. The other thing that I have that I'm not really focused on too much, unless there's a card that really warrants it, which there's actually a few in that stack. Like things like centering tools, because we have to measure centering, but most of this, has been in pretty good shape. And so this one probably is very well centered. And again, here's like a little bit of, I don't know if that's a piece of dust or what, but right here, that's something that we can hopefully remove. And we can. So again, that's something that's added onto the card, right? That's dirt or debris or whatever was on there before. Now it's just wiped off. I was saying it's LP at best, depending. Yeah, it really just depends. This is a hollow e-reader magneton. Hopefully I'll be flipping it over. But it's really going to bear the question, like, what technology are they going to put in to ever even detect anything? Like, I never used wax to begin with, but that's pretty much what they're saying without saying it. Because of the, I forgot what baseball card it was, that got graded, that was kind of highlighted and kind of advertised as, hey, here's what can happen when you use wax. So there's actually some pretty good improvements that we made. I mean, there's like little bits of dirt, but this magneton is in such good shape. It's a beautiful card.